Hi guys, so I wanted to show the latest feature I've been working on. It won't make it into obviously the release of A20 because I don't release anymore in A20, but will be a key feature in A21. If we were to take the example of spawning, say, a horde of zombies, you typically get tired of looting corpses after a while, getting all the clothing, scrapping, and trying to find whatever is useful. So this is what you end up with, a slew of bodies that you have to go in and individually loot. So what I've done is an auto loot mod. So let's kill off all these guys. And essentially it would be this Z Corpse auto loot mod that you would craft and put into some kind of armor, and then just wear that. So there's a few changes in how corpses will work in A21. If I was to spawn a single bow, let's put myself in spectator mode for a second and maybe have a bear. So the bear will kill the zombie. And what will happen is the zombie won't stay very long. The corpse will despawn fairly quickly. So it's a way to clean up the world, but it's also a way to make sure that you don't end up getting benefits from kills that other people will make. So the auto loot is based on you and your followers. So if you were to, well, let's just test you alone. If you were to have a single bow, so this works on zombies. And let's get out of spectator modes. And you were to kill that bow. When the corpse is despawned, essentially on the right, bottom right, you see that you've gained a few items. So if we were to do this again and make sure that our inventory was empty, we'll spawn in a bow, and then look at the bottom right, you'll see that you'll get some brains, some cloth, and some leather. So essentially what it did, it went into the corpse and it scrapped what was scrappable, and will give you the rest. So if there was some cash or some ammo, you would get those. The same thing would work. So if you were to set a bow on fire, normally it wouldn't recognize who the buff belonged to. And so I had to do quite a bit of coding to do essentially the same thing and associate. See, this time we've got some ammo from that corpse. Associate the buff to the owner, and then make sure that you got the loot from that. And it's the same thing with bleeding. Bleeding being a buff, you wouldn't get the loot normally. So I found ways around that. The other way that this would work is if you were to hire. So, well, let's just get a Briston. That's probably the easiest way. So let's get one of these guys, spawn him in.
Smells like a dead hobo's asshole.
And what will happen with your followers, whether it's a Briston, a survivor that you've hired, an animal companion, it will loot everything that's not clothing. So if we were to spawn a bow, what it will do is notice that the killer was your NPC. And then you see we got nothing on the bottom right because it won't loot not just the clothing. It won't loot the rotting flesh, and it won't loot the clothing. So if we were to maybe try, well, it doesn't matter. Just trust me that this stuff works. So just to show you the power of this, if we were to spawn in the same amount of bows that we had at the beginning, now that we've got the auto loot turned on, just keep an eye on the bottom right. as they die. See, it auto-looted all of that stuff. So now you don't have to worry about anything but looking at the loot bags, and because it's based on who delivered the final blow, then it would be associated to who made the kill. So in a way, it's a good way to split the loot between the various people. If you contribute more, then you get more loot. Um, so that's pretty much it. It works in multiplayer as well. So it's something to look for in A21.